Hey, long time no see. I wanted to make a video also to show everyone around the Yaris one more time. It's been now 2 years that I've had the car, and I think it's good to look back, see what I changed, maybe what I shouldn't have changed, and I did, and overall how's this experience of having this rally car for the road, as some of the reviewers call it, for 2 years has been. You might know me, I do a few track videos and I use the car on track a lot, so some of my experience in modifications that I've done also will relate to that. So let's take a look around and see what I changed. I'll start front to back, then we go from there. So in the front, there's not much change. Maybe the only thing you can see is the bar and the suspension heads there. Top mounts. Just a little bit more stiffness, and the KW allows me to basically set up the camber as well, which is quite a nice feature. You have to go there to get in there to change the rebound. So sometimes it gets a bit annoying to be able to reach there without having to disassemble the whole top part of the car, but yeah, that's it. Let's back off a bit. Now I'm a bit using the winter setup, so I'm using the original wheels, still with PS4S tires. Another modification that was more recent was the brakes, so I'm now rocking some Giro pad brakes. The original front rotors were kind of worn out, and yeah, they're extremely expensive and I don't think they are that good. So I'm gonna try these ones out. I haven't driven these ones on track, so let's see what they bring this season. But so far the feel on the road is quite good. I think they have more bites than the original rotors. And I guess you can still spot my endless ME22 brake pads there. So those were a massive upgrade versus the original ones. You can also see the calipers. You see this color? This is not dirty. I guess they suffered a little bit from track usage, and now they've stayed this color. So they are not red anymore. But yeah, that's it. On the side, as you can see, like pretty standard. Everything is normal. With this suspension, I have a fair bit more camber, so maybe you can take a look here. You can see the inner side of the wheel is quite a bit more inwards than the bottom, and on the back is the same as well. So try to look around. If you can spot a bit better the camber on the back wheel. Also completely stock on the back. I didn't want to do any like static modifications, so the car is completely stock from a aesthetical perspective. Well, it's a bit lowered due to the suspension, but that's about it. Let me just pop up on the trunk. Well, here it's I regret it a bit, to be honest. The car became less usable on the day-to-day, quite a bit more noisy inside, but I basically removed the interior back seats, right, as you can see there. Back seats are gone. The camera's not going to focus. Oh. Yeah. Back seats are completely gone. Added some tire repair kits if something happens. You can also hear a lot more road noise on rocks hitting the side. And then I added this also Cusco bar just as reinforcement, since I had removed the back seats. But that's mainly it. So yeah, so now that you're done with the tour, let me tell you a little bit more about what I think from the car. let's talk a little bit about this year and how was my experience. I think overall it was very good. The car behaves really well on track. You don't have major problems like engine overheating or oil overheating. I think the only big problem that I had was the diff. So the rear differential was overheating quite a few times, I think. So on the Nürburgring, one fuel tank yields around 5 laps, and on my 4th lap, with like 5th lap, I was always getting the diff overheated. To kind of counter that, this year I've wrapped it in some isolating band, so thermal isolating band. Let's see how it works. For the tires, in the beginning of the year, I still had a fair bit of problem with the outside part of the tire overheating and having kind of a lot more wear than inside. I started running slightly higher tire pressures to counter that in the front mainly, and it helped. Although the car became quite a bit understeery, so this was then the downside. I was then playing around with the suspension settings to make it rotate a bit better. So basically trying to soften up the front a little bit, making the rear a bit harder. Yeah, so those were some of the challenges that I had. And otherwise, I mean, fuel consumption is very bad, even on day-to-day usage. It'll be hard-pressed to do less than 10 liters per 100 kilometers. It's a fairly bad fuel economy car. I also didn't end the season in the best manner. It was, I think, late September. I was out on track. I went with the Cup 2 setup because it was cloudy, but weather forecast was good, so no rain. But in the middle of the day, weather changed, rain hit the track a lot, and I was a dumbass, I was still driving around. I had quite a bit of fun, but at one point I kind of lost control. The rear went away from me. I was able to catch it the first time, but then I clipped the barrier with the front, so I just damaged the bumpers. It was nothing very severe. I could still drive the car home. Broke quite of the few like front grille plastics, and some of the brake ducts were damaged. So I had that replaced now during winter break, together with the maintenance. So I also did full fluid change, like oil, the gearbox oil, the differential oils, and so on. Brake fluid as well. Yeah, so season didn't end in the best way. And I think as a daily, so now in the winter I've been using it as a daily also to take my kid out to school. Not a great experience. I think the car is quite noisy, it's not very comfortable to drive day to day. I would not really recommend, if I'm being honest. I kind of grew a bit tired of it now during winter. I think in the summer I'll regain the fun when I'm out on track, but as a daily driver it would not be my pick, let's put it this way. I hope this provides some insights for new owners, if not that it triggers at least some questions. Happy to answer down in the comments. And it was nice talk in this way and have these new formats. Let's see how well it works or how well it doesn't work. Ciao!